If I'm asked to do it, why didn't Abu Bakr just write it down? Why did he ask Zayd to go and get collect the Quran? Abu Bakr knew it.
I didn't know.
You're saying one of the four rightly guided caliphs didn't memorize the Quran.
I don't know if he did.
So why are you assuming Zayd? Hold on.
No.
You're saying Zayd had memorized it, but one of the four rightly guided caliphs didn't memorize
I
it.
don't know if they did.
But you know Zayd did.
Yeah.
On what evidence?
I don't get this. I'm a bit confused here.
Khalid bin al-Walid did not memorize it.
So how do you know then? How do you know that if you don't know Abu Bakr did, how do you know Zayd? Where's the hadith that Zayd memorized it?
I'm telling you, I don't know if they did. Maybe they four of them did. I don't know. Now, the point is, if I tell you go and collect all my clothes, how do you know you collected them all?
I go to your mother, your father, your brothers and your friends.
You need to know what are my clothes.
Rubbish, because whenever somebody goes to do a job for somebody else, they don't have to know everything. They just go to people they know and get the things then. Oh, John wants me to get his key, his front door key. Can you give me his front door key? Oh yes, I don't have to know your front door key.
Now, doesn't it make more sense to ask someone that already knows what's all that needs to be collected? So you're telling me that...
And that's... No, not all of it. For example, with your clothes, I go to people who know what belongs to you. They don't know your whole collection of clothes, but different people who know where your clothes are and what they can make sure I get them. So Zayd getting into people who've had the writings of the prophets.
What makes more sense? Go for someone that, okay, I will need to ask this and that person and see what they all give me, or go to someone that already knows what's the whole...
What you do, you said Zayd knew it, so you'd write it down yourself and then take everything you could, I suppose, from everybody else and note that down and compare and contrast. But he never is said in the hadith to go to the Sahaba to get them to recite it to him. Why not? Why is it specifically saying he went to bits of bone, bits of leaf and other things to get the verses of the Quran, but never does it say he went to the men who allegedly memorized it. You guys never memorized this. It's all rubbish. It's lies. It's a story. Same as in Uthman's time as well. It's all nonsense. Wake up, man. Wake up. Your own traditions, which, by the way, even if I accepted them, show they weren't memorized because of the conduct that's described in the Quran. But even so, those writings are 200 years, 200 to 250 years after the event they described. They're worthless, historically worthless, and Western scholarship has shown that.
Can you play?
You're living in a fairyland, my friend.
No, he's not. It's a fairyland. UK is a fairyland.
The UK is yes, I like that. We have one thing we can agree on, very much so, and I'll say no more.
No, but do you understand the reasoning that Zayd knew it? Because it's much easier to...
I just can't. I think it's extremely unrealistic to describe it this way. You're trying to fill a big hole in the alleged history of the religion of Islam. Really, you are, and the hadith show that hole because they're produced at a time before your approach, which is the modern Muslim one, which says, oh, it was all memorized. Before that was crystallized at a time when it was still not required to say that. So Abu Bakr, not knowing that there'd be a problem for Islam when these hadith were produced and translated in the 20th century, wrote down what he wrote innocently. But it's shown that actually early Islam's quite chaotic.
No, it's not.